What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing the Miami Heat season wrap. As we all know, they did lose in the NBA Finals to the Denver Nuggets. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. But with the Miami Heat, after seeing them go on that absolutely insane playoff run to get to the NBA Finals and ultimately lose. It gives me a chance to look at their season through a different microscope, or under the microscope, I should say. And that's just going through their wins, their losses, where I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season and where they ultimately ended, and what I think they should do going forward. For me, even with the Miami Heat making it to the playoffs via the play-in from beating the Chicago Bulls and ultimately being the 8th seed, I didn't give them a chance to win that series against Milwaukee. Come to find out, they ended up beating the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks, going on after that to play the New York Knicks and winning that series also. Then in 7 games, turning out to beat the Boston Celtics. Now, against the Denver Nuggets, I actually did not give them a chance. But looking at their roster currently constructed, how things could take shape going into next season and things I think they need to do, because this Miami Heat team with Jimmy Butler has been to the NBA Finals 2 out of the last 4 years. So you want to count the bubble and how many times they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals, and also them going to the NBA Finals this past season. I feel like they are literally on the cusp of winning a championship, but I feel like some things need to be done for that to take shape. First and foremost, I think they need to address better starting point guard play. I think Gabe Vincent and Matt Strus showed that their supporting cast isn't what it needs to be for them to ultimately beat a team like, dare I say, the Denver Nuggets if they make it back next season. So they have to address that. I feel like the point guard position needs to be addressed. What they want to do with Tyler Hero going forward needs to be addressed also. I feel like he can be a part of their core, but if you ask me, what do I think they need to do going forward as far as wing players? They have to see if they can go out there and get a trade for a guy like Bradley Beal, or maybe even bring in Damian Lillard. One of the two have to be on the top of the list for the Miami Heat in this offseason, because you need a legit, when guys are missing shots, when Jimmy Butler is being double teamed and things like that, you need to bring in a legit scoring threat. And I feel like what we saw in the NBA Finals, the Miami Heat just did not have that. They did not have a legit scoring threat when Jimmy Butler wasn't, making shots. Yes, Bam Adebayo was a valuable, piece during that run, especially in those games going up against Nikola Jokic, but you need guys that can take and make shots. There's no reason why the Miami Heat should be leaning so heavily on Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love, to get shots and make shots. Gabe Vincent was on for a few games and he was off for the rest of the series. Same thing for Matt Strus. He would have a few good games and then his shot would be nowhere to be found. So you look at that. I like the addition of Caleb Martin. I think he's a great piece for what they want to do going forward. He won't have to, you won't have to pay Caleb Martin a ton of money to bring him back. So I think he's a good piece to have. Also, I like the kid Highsmith. But first and foremost, Bam Adebayo, you have to situate him and also add another piece. Like I said, in the Miami Heat, having all the injury troubles that they did have, I'm not even speaking in the midst of Victor Oladipo, but they also lost Tyler Hero, with the broken hand. He was, expected to play in Game 5, but ultimately he didn't. I know what the reason was, but when you look at Pat Riley and you look at what the Miami Heat want to do going forward, they want to compete for championships. They want to be able to be competitive in the always competitive Eastern Conference, especially over the last few years. You're still going to have teams like Boston. You're still going to have teams like Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Brooklyn is getting better. Orlando will get better. Cleveland, New York, Chicago. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about teams in the East that are not only going to be better next season, but ultimately get better. So this season, the Miami Heat was a play-in team. Last year, they were a top-seeded team in the East. So when you look at that and you look at how things could go one season to the next, you could even say the Miami Heat may even miss the playoffs next season. But again, we're not that far just yet. I think the first thing that the Miami Heat need to do is address, guard play and go from there. I feel like Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard should be two of the most coveted players that a lot of teams will be trading for this offseason. If, dare I say, both those players are on the trading block, Miami Heat will, I'm sure, I'd be hard-pressed to believe that the Miami Heat don't go after at least one of those guys during the offseason. But like I said, man, you bring back Jimmy Butler, you bring back Bam Adebayo, you plug and play a few players here or there, but you don't do too much as far as shake up the roster upside down. You definitely can make moves that improve the roster, but you don't want to hurt your team in the same breath. So I know Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, the whole front office of the Miami Heat will do their due diligence. And, like I said, they'll be competitive as they always are. But again, they fell short of the NBA championship once again. And I feel like they are closer than they were. Honestly, I feel like they were closer this year than the year they were in the bubble. Like, honestly, I think they are a lot closer than what they were. I didn't pick them to go to the NBA Finals, but that is the beauty of the NBA. You just never know, no matter what the analysts say or what you may have picked preseason. Things go the way they're going to ultimately go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Miami Heat fans, NBA fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.